Hey, welcome to day 3 from Bali Balcony Production Studio. Welcome to my talks on yoga and total body cleanse through detox. So today I'm going to point out another misconception that I would often hear. It says, I don't need a detox, nothing is wrong with me. Or they would say, like, I have done it some time ago, but I don't need anymore. So I done it and I'm done. But well, the truth is, you have to detox and you have to detox regularly, regardless if you have illness or not. So just before we dive into this nitty gritty of it all, let's put some clarity first on this. Like, what's detox actually? Why do we need to detox regularly and you keep cleansing your body? And actually, are you aware that you, well, your body is detoxing every single minute of every single day? As I mentioned in my first broadcast, our body in some ways dies and rebirth over and over again daily. So when your cell die, the breath or that dead cell becomes a waste and needs to exit the body in some way. So the body needs to detox itself to live well, and usually it does it through the elimination pathways like liver, kidney, your lymphatic system, your lungs, skin, through urinary and bowel movements. All this, it's in a play to eliminate the toxins out of the body. It's all part of natural detoxification process of our metabolic system to sustain life. So the body and the cells in the body needs to get rid of toxins every day, otherwise we get sick. It doesn't. If it does, it does it without us interfering much at all. It just does by itself anyway. But let's pause here and look at what detox actually, definition of detox in terms of intentional, like in terms of tensional action. So detox is a process of period of time in which one abstains from or eliminates toxins or unhealthy substances out of the body. So in other words, it is removal of the toxic substances from the body, which is mainly carried out, as I already mentioned, by liver, kidneys, through your lymphatic system, with bowel movements and intestines, with urine and lungs and skin through sweat. You sweat and then you release. But if we really want to get truly effective and comprehensive detox, we actually need to go much deeper to remove harmful toxins from the body where they can cause the problem. We need to go to cellular level, cleansing the body at the cellular level. So it's a level of the cell, not just skin, down in. Anyway, so as you can see, the conscious intentional detox is an action where we help the body with its own detoxification process, and we help it by not bringing additional toxins into the body, but also various detox methods to kick in and sprinkle our insides so the body can carry on with its own detoxification so much better and so much efficient. So why do we get toxic in the first place? Ask yourself, what is to blame for such a thing? Well, the truth is the toxins are just about everywhere. Our modern environment in which we live day in and day out is becoming ever increasingly toxic. Toxins are everywhere. In your food, in the air, in your water, in your house furnishing, even in your house walls, in your cosmetics, your makeup, washing powders, household cleaning products. Also adding to that the food, increased intake of sugar and salt, unhealthy food in form of microwave processed food, overload of carbs and alcohol, too much coffee. You see, so in essence, in everything is around you is toxic. That's a bad news. And day in, day out, those toxins are hurting you, forcing your immune system to work hard to eliminate all those harmful substances, challenging every every single elimination pathway, this kidneys, liver, and is what I was mentioning, making your cell overflow with toxicity, creating weaker and weaker body to eventually to the breaking point where we get sick and with some strange and mysterious disease that seem to us all of the sudden but actually it was long time in making. So no disease or illness is sudden. It is to our sudden awareness that and realization that something is suddenly not right. But no disease is from yesterday. We may be fine, and then somehow one day we are not so fine anymore. So to us, it would seem just a change from kind of one day to the other. But actually, the body wasn't well for a long time. One sobering fact, actually, here is that all toxins accumulate over time. Your body is trying to get rid of toxicity every single day, as we mentioned, but with varied success, because sometimes yes, better than worse, depending on our individual state of our health. But over the time, overflow of toxins becomes too much for the body, and the body unexpectedly shows up its unhappiness in some kind of illness or disease. Excuse me. In all fairness, the body was maybe giving you a small hints more often than not ignored by us, because we usually contribute those little inconveniences to aging, getting older, or just like passing glitch. But that was actually body talking to you. The perfect storm is brewing inside of you, and maybe one day there will be a trouble. You'll know if your body is toxic and needs attention when you experience this kind of symptoms. So it would reflect. These are usually taken as normal. Like for example, losing hair, tiredness, not having in energy and motivation, and then your dental issues, forgetfulness, not being able to concentrate, not being able to eliminate regular, like going to toilet, bloating after meal, frequent passing wind, grogginess in the morning, like feeling constantly or very often crappy, angry, depressed, anxious. But there are many, many others. So just by living our usual modern life without paying too much attention to what we are doing and how we are doing things, the body will accumulate those environmental toxins and get overwhelmed. Yeah, so now the good news. So so further on, what are key toxins we should be aware of? There are toxins, but which ones are out there? Well, in no particular order, actually, this one, because they are all important to pay attention to. But for example, water. Water is becoming issue because of chlorine and fluoride in it, that is known to cause different cancers. Ugh. Also, makeup contains plastics, endotoxins that will erupt your endocrine system, your hormonal system, and that hormonal balance. If you remember, I was talking in my previous broadcast about endotoxins messing up the production of neurotransmitters, serotonin and dopamine, for example. They are hormones that govern our mood and cognition. Also, another one, it's a laundry detergent for washing fabrics and your clothes that are that those the toxins absorb and right into your skin, and they are well hidden. Also, one of the major toxins is glyphosate in food, and that's a big one. That is a chemical that is being sprayed all over the food, and it's known to cause cancer. What glyphosate does is it opens your gut barrier, creating a leaky gut, but also opens your brain barrier. I will talk about that much more in my master class. There's brain barrier and gut barrier, two different things. But we are all exposed to those to some degree. So these toxins start to bioaccumulate, meaning collect in your body, particularly in your cells, which slows down the pathway of getting rid of them. Kind of, it's a vicious circle. But one interesting thing here is, um, those already mentioned toxins you can see to some degree and have control over it, in your everyday routine. But there are big toxins that you don't see. They are hidden and potentially even more harmful for our health, like heavy metal and mold. These two are big ones. They are far stronger than the ones I already mentioned. They go right into our brain, into the tissue, and they are neurodegenerative. They ruin your nervous system. Yeah, they hurt your nervous system. And another example is mold. We don't see mold unless it's obvious, like if it's in front of your eyes, but you don't even smell it once you live in a mold space because you kind of get used to the smell. It's hiding behind the walls, so you don't see it. You don't know it's there. Or leak in a roof, creates mold, or mold behind the installations. Or another sign that you potentially have some mold in your environment is humidity in your windows. You have a foggy windows on occasions. Mold is biotoxin, meaning toxin produced by living things. And as such, they find a way to get into your brain, especially into hypothalamus, pituitary, as are two important places in your brain, where they disrupt all the receptors in your brain, disrupting your hormones. So some of those symptoms that would indicate that you have mold toxicity is you suddenly start gaining weight, for example, or can't lose the weight easily, or you start feeling fatigued, constantly tired. This is because of the hormone deregulation that those mold biotoxins are causing. Also, one of the symptoms would be light sensitivity, sound sensitivity, and anxiety and ability to adapt to stress. Another major factor of accumulating toxin in our body is lack of sleep, not giving the body a chance to rest enough. When we stay up late, for example, and cutting short our rest during the night, we are not permitting enough hours to allow our body to rejuvenate and repair. But also, if you don't get to sleep in a certain hour, you are going to miss a production on melanin, which peaks 2 a.m. in the morning. Melanin is a hormone that is responsible for regulating feeding behavior, like when you're hungry, when you're not, your mood, your sleep-awake cycles, when you need to go to bed and when not, and energy balance. That's all actually links to energy. Anyway, what happens when we sleep is our cells in our body have chance to heal and grow, rejuvenate. It all happens during the sleep. Um, so do you know that our cells are not actually able to multitask? They are only perform one function at a time. They are either involved in some metabolic processes of the body, like digestion, running and stressing, thinking, gardening, or they are growing and repairing. And that not sleeping properly, it especially affects the drainage of your brain. While you sleep, for example, it clears out harmful toxins where the flow of cerebrospinal fluid, the fluid that is in your brain and your spinal cord, that cerebral fluid increases dramatically, washing away harmful waste, proteins, and all accumulated metabolic rubbish that builds up between the brain cells during waking hours. So in short, the brain sweeps themselves clean of toxins during the sleep. Such an important thing to know. So all that we mentioned so far, toxins in environment and your lifestyle, is directly influencing our biochemical processes in our bodies. And if we are not aware of it and not educating ourselves, all your future ills can take you by surprise. Well, that is actually a scenario and a high time when we need to help the body and go to that total cleanse, aka aka detox, and temporarily stop inputting toxins in our body that we have control over. So to kickstart the support, this natural process of this detoxification that is already innate in us. We have it naturally. And then we need to detox regularly. Every year at some point, doing an appropriate targeted cleanse. Like you will do, MOT on your car every year regularly So you check it and find it if it's safe to drive on a road. That's exactly the same with the body. Supporting our body detoxification and elimination ability is critical for good health, like full stop. And also, did you know that how funny this research done by Environmental Defense Fund found that we now have around 84,000 chemicals in our environment. 84,000. And the average newborn baby had almost 300 toxins in the amicable cord blood. Although our body has many sophisticated systems in place to neutralize it, bind and excrete it toxins, but today that load of toxins is excessive, and our protective system and our immune system, which is our protective system, can be overwhelmed. Like it's too much. So another hidden and in many ways dangerous toxicity is coming from heavy metal toxins. And that is very strong reason why you need a regular and thorough detox. Metal toxicity has a long shelf life, mean they stay in your body for a long time. And it is challenging to take them out because they are so embodied in a body. They are hard to remove. And you can't remove them just with a good diet and regular exercise, although that helps. Good diet and exercise always helps. But metal stays long in the body, causing health issues for years to come, and especially it affects you neurologically, like your nervous system, your neurons. It affects your nervous system, causing neuroinflammation, and it is the major factor in dementia sufferers. The neurons are gone because of toxicity, can't cope. So the heavy metals most common associated with the poisoning of the body are lead, mercury, arsenic, and cadmium. Heavy metal poisoning is happening as a result of industrial exposure, air or water pollution, like it's found in food, medicines, and improperly coated containers. When you having food from tin, that's your toxins. Another example, if you have mercury fillings in your dental work, you definitely have heavy metal toxicity from mercury that leaks into your body all the time. All the time you are having those fillings in your teeth. Also, lead has an effect on your bone health. If you find lead in your urine, if you test it ever, in your urine sample, look what is happening to your bones. You can get exposed to toxic lead by handling lead-based paint and lead contaminated dust in older buildings or in contaminated air like water and soil. Also, if you work with batteries or doing some home renovations or work as a mechanic in a car repair shop full of lead. So you can see how heavy metal toxicity is a part of our modern life. It's everywhere. They are there, you want it or not, just by living your daily life on this earth. Hey, so you can see that you need to get on with helping the body to reduce toxicity overload. There are many approaches to cleanse of your body. We have to be careful though, because not every detox would suit every person at a certain point of time. Depends what you need to cleanse. I will expand on what what you need to do to achieve in your body and eliminate all these toxin, and what are the pathways in the body that are allowing that. I'll address it later. But no matter the approach of detoxification and its protocols are meant to encourage the body to release harmful compounds through sweat, urine, and stool. Yeah, so there is little talk about toxicity, but one thing that I should not leave out before I finish my talk today is in the process of cleansing, you'll eventually start, and that's the one, you eventually start releasing a lot of bad toxins. And those toxins will be redistributed. They would go around the body in different places and can land on the cell that can create hormone dysfunction. And all of the sudden, you might feel worse. That's why most people feel terrible before they get better when they go on the detox body cleanse. Often people get put off by that or completely stop soon after they begin the detox cleanse protocol. It's not pleasant. For that exact reason, because you feel worse before you feel better. And symptoms can include, for example, exhaustion, irritability, itchiness, like flu-like symptoms, diarrhea again, rashes, sweat, chills, crying jaws, insomnia, strong headaches, and so many. You might have already experienced yourself, or you might already know that when you try to get off the coffee, if you ever did, if you're a coffee drinker and you want to get off the coffee, you will probably get headaches for a day or two. But that's the sign that your body is going through detox. Although uncomfortable at first, the rewards are multi-layered and well worth going for. So don't give up when it's tough. In my masterclass now, I will go into detail about what methods and protocols you can implement to cleanse the body. If you find this interesting, please book your place for the masterclass um, coming soon after these 5 talks on Saturday, this Saturday 25th. The link will be in comments. Or if you don't find it, sometimes these comments disappear. Or if you don't find it in comments, please reach out to me directly. Yeah, I hope to see you at the masterclass session where I will talk about how do you actually approach the detox and what methods you can use and how yoga plays a big part in it. And you can see slowly how with all this what I'm saying, educating you and sharing with you like what is happening to the body, you can slowly link to the yoga and how yoga, beautiful holistic discipline, can actually help you and support you into that detox cleanse. Anyway, for now, have a lovely day. I'm going to leave you and love you here, and you have a lovely day, and namaste.